The dreaded timer too close error on the Sovol SV08 has finally been solved on our device. The solution for us was replacing the EMMC module, not too expensive on AliExpress. I upgraded to this larger and likely higher quality module than the original. However, there are multiple causes for this error, which I'll cover in this short update video. This is Gergo, and you're watching Gergo Print 3D, where we explore 3D printing, laser cutting, and have DIY adventures, often with my little nephews. This video includes curated, translation-ready subtitles and chapter markers to make it as useful as possible for everyone. Timer too close is a pretty general error. It happens when the printer's two computing systems, the MCU and the toolhead controller, struggle to communicate with each other, often due to delays caused by system overload or hardware issues. We tried so many things. First, cooling the MCU. Back in early fall, this error first appeared while printing our scanned head models, 16, 20-hour-long prints. The temporary fix was additional cooling, which worked for a while. Next, I suspected increased interference inside the metallic enclosure. So we added ferrite beads to the USB umbilical cable, hoping to reduce electromagnetic noise. That seemed to help, until it didn't. If you remember, December brought a firmware update, allowing interrupted prints to resume. But this wasn't a real fix. Long prints, especially with time-lapse enabled, still kept failing. I experimented with recommended software changes like switching the CPU mode to performance, but the problem persisted. A nearly full EMMC storage can slow execution and cause delays. 8 GB in the SV08 is barely enough for a few models and time-lapse videos. Clearing unused files helped some users, but wasn't the magic bullet for us. Since frequent fan speed adjustments and making the printer do arc fitting can also increase CPU load, I checked the affected orcheslizer settings, but they weren't enabled here. Eventually, prints failed so frequently that I had to act. I was trying to print this Black Panther model for my nephew when the printer stopped 3 times due to the very same error. Each time I was able to resume, but turning off time-lapse was the only way to get it to finish. And this was unacceptable. But by this time, I have already ordered a 32 GB EMMC module from AliExpress. Even if it didn't fix the problem, quadrupling storage for time-lapses and G-code files was a worthwhile upgrade. I linked to this inexpensive seller in the description below. It just takes a few weeks for it to ship. But it was well worth the wait. After replacing the EMMC, long prints, including the reprinted Black Panther model, completed successfully. So here's how to go about this if you experience the same problem. First, back up your old module. Flip the SV08 on its side, remove the bottom cover, and remove the stock 8 GB EMMC from your printer. Use an EMMC adapter to create an image file of it using Win32 Disk Imager or similar utility. If you need an EMMC adapter, order it together with your EMMC card. I will put AliExpress links for those as well. 2. Prepare the new module. So, write the backup image to the new module using the adapter. Insert the new EMMC into the printer. Here's a tip. You can test run your printer without the bottom cover, of course, and without flipping it on its feet. Just don't touch anything inside. And we will need to adjust for the bigger storage. If the printer boots up correctly, make sure it's connected to Wi-Fi and log in via SSH. The command is SSH, Sovol, @ and the IP address of your printer. Password Sovol. We are benefiting from Sovol's user-friendly policy of keeping the whole system open for us users. The super user command line you see here on the screen resizes the partitions automatically, making full use of the new storage space. I put the line in the description as well because you have to enter this exactly as you see it here. 4. While you're here, why not also modify the CPU governor for better performance? Just be sure to have sufficient cooling for your MCU. For this, edit the CPU frequencies file using the text editor of your choice and change the line governor equals on demand to governor equals performance. Save and exit, then reboot the printer. This adjustment will make the CPU run always at full speed, gaining performance by eliminating spin-up times. You can carry out this adjustment even without upgrading your EMMC. Just be sure to make a backup image before attempting it, and be sure to have adequate cooling for your motherboard. My final recommendations if you are facing this error: increasingly difficult steps. First, turn off time-lapse or the Obico plugin if you don't use them. This already reduces CPU load. Turn off CPU-intensive slicer features like arc fitting and asynchronous fan adjustments. Next, if these didn't help, check toolhead temperatures during long prints. If it tends to go over 55 C, improve toolhead cooling by replacing the toolhead cover with a more open design, or even adding a small cooling fan to the toolhead electronics. You can see options here on printables. Next, you can add a bigger, more effective fan to your MCU at the bottom of the printer, like I did. If you use Sovol's glass metal enclosure, it is recommended to add ferrite beads to the USB umbilical cable to reduce interference. You will find AliExpress links to these in the description as well. You can delete unused files from the EMMC regularly. Don't let it fill up. The stock module can only hold a few files really. You can try to change the CPU governor to performance, but only after taking care of proper MCU cooling. And if all fails, replace the EMMC. Or just replace it anyway for the added storage. It's a cheap and effective upgrade. This turned into another long-winded short video, but I hope it helps you fix the timer too close error for good. I'm grateful for all the kind feedback and support we are getting from the community. Please keep using our affiliate links in the description of this and my other videos. You get the same or even better prices, while we get a little kickback from the companies. The best of you even support us on Ko-fi.com. We couldn't keep doing this without all this kindness. Check out my other SV08 videos. This recent one helps you with the firmware update, and this playlist has more than 20 other videos about the SV08, all to help you go print 3D. Thanks for watching another Gergo Print 3D video all the way to the end.